sitting here by myself doing this week class on Notion. There's a few people logging in, hard to beat. How's everyone doing? Just if you can hear me and all okay, give me a wee thumbs up please. I don't have my microphone. If you do my Pilates classes, I usually have a wee microphone, but you don't want to listen to me breathing heavy into that for the next 45 minutes. Or I hope you don't anyway, there's plenty of other websites that you can look for that sort of thing. Okay, so just somebody give me a wee thumbs up, would be great. Ah, Jesus, Sarah Russell, like, blast from the past. Hope everyone's feeling alright. Okay, so we'll start in another wee minute or two. I'll give the Fermanagh people all time to get logged in. So I'll explain all this again, but the first 15 minutes or so is going to be pitched very much at a beginner level. I'll start to up the ante a wee bit after that, so if you're new to it, the first 15 minutes is ideal for you. It's a chance for you to learn how to do the exercises properly. If you're not new to it, if you've been doing Kettlebell classes before or doing it for a long time, just bear with me till we get the technique and everything right, and then we'll really pick it up towards the second part of the class, or the session. Well, I'm just going to hold my shoe, the heat's off in this house. Everybody keeping well, yeah? Nolly McConnell's logged in there, she's here in time. There'll be nobody later than Nolly usually. Okay, so you might notice there's no background music. If I play background music, Facebook might cut the sound off on me, or when people go to play it back, they'll cut the sound off it. So if you have your own music at home there, I'll give you 30 seconds or a minute to get organised and put some on for yourself in the background. Alexa, play Hugo Duncan. Hopefully that'll work in somebody's house there. Okay, so what I have here is an 8 kilo, so it's a medium to light, and then a 16 kilo, which is medium to heavy. Okay, that's going to be different for everybody, obviously. I have a spare dumbbell as well, so that's only 5 kilos. If you have extra weights at home, if there's an exercise that's too heavy for you with the kettlebells that you have, use whatever extra weights you have, substitute it where possible. If you're, I don't know if there anybody will be, but if you only have a dumbbell rather than a kettlebell, when we come into swings and stuff, you're holding it there, so it's kind of replicating the way you're holding the kettlebell by the handle, so you'll be holding it by the top rather than gripping onto it here. That's probably obvious. I just see some people logging in there that common sense wouldn't be their highest quality. So. Okay, look, I'm going to make a wee start. Again, anybody that's just after logging in, the first 10 or 15 minutes is going to be really warming up really well, making sure the movements are done properly, that nobody's going to risk hurting their back. Last thing I'll say is, this is all done at your own risk, alright? So if you've any niggly injuries with back problems, shoulder problems, it might not be the best workout for you, okay? I do Pilates, you can join up to that instead. Alright, so if there's anything that nips or aggravates at your lower back, just be really careful and cautious with it. Concentrate on doing it well rather than doing it heavy or doing it fast. Okay, so once again, it's all done at your own risk, okay? So we'll start. Just getting warmed up, and the very first thing we're going to do is find what's called a neutral pelvis. So a lot of people tend to stand in that anterior tilt where the pelvis is rolled forward and the lower back straight. So we're going to roll the hips back and roll forward, roll back, roll forward. Okay, nice wee saucy one to get started. What you should be, imagine that your pelvis is like a bucket and you're tipping water out the front, tipping water out the back, and then come to a halfway point. That's your neutral pelvis. At that position there, your pelvis isn't rolled forward. You shouldn't feel the strain on your lower back. What you should feel is your tummy muscles brace that wee bit. So imagine you're putting on a tight button at the top of your jeans, or you're about to get a thump on the stomach. You just tighten up those tummy muscles. That's what we're trying to maintain the whole way through this class here. So from here, with your feet about hip width apart, straight away we're just getting used to the kettlebell swing motion. So a lot of the class will stem from that. Push your bum away out while keeping the tummy muscles pulled in. You should feel a wee strain here at the back of the legs and squeeze in again at the back side. Okay, so we're not rounding over on our back. We're just pushing the bum right out. Feel the hamstrings tightening up and come back up again. We'll keep going with that. Okay, so feel that through the hamstrings and back side. Keep the chin tucked in gently, so nice long back from your tailbone up to the top of your head. You should feel that in the back of your thighs, hopefully. Okay, so it's not a squat. When we come into the kettlebell swing later, or shortly, it's not a squat motion. It's pushing your hips out like the way we're doing there, right? Pushing your bum out behind you and standing up. So a lot of people get quad dominant and try to sit into that. We want to push out through the hips, that big hip hinge. Push your bum out. Squeeze up tight at the top, bracing at the tummy to that position that we set up in a minute ago, that neutral pelvis. And relax. So stay at the top, loosen out through the waist, nice and easy. If you're just logging in there now, I was saying, put on some music for yourself in the background. I can't put any on here because Facebook might cut it off on me. And we keep our arms up, elbows up at the same height as your shoulders. And just rotate the forearm back. Turn the backs of your hands up and away from you. Keep your upper arm still without leaning back. Okay. You just feel a wee strain, a wee pull through the shoulders. Nice and easy. Back down to the hamstrings, stepping quite wide. Reach across to the one ankle, reach across to the other. Nice wee rotation through your waist there each time. And relax. Okay, back up onto the feet. That same motion now, pushing the hips back out behind you, but we're going to try it on one leg. So lean on something if you need to. There's no problem in leaning on something. Push your hips back behind you, feel that strain through the hamstring, and squeeze at the back side to come up again. So push the hips out, better balance than that hopefully. Push the hips out behind you, and squeeze back up again. Keep a nice and long straight back as well. Lean on something if you need to, or keep your back leg on the floor behind you, and you're still pushing the hips back. So there's no problem in keeping one foot on the floor behind you, don't be too proud. And literally be proud before a fall there. Okay, change legs then. So pushing the hips back behind you, all your weight up through that front leg. Push your hips back, squeeze in at the back side. Hopefully you can hear me and all okay. If anybody's having issues, just type it in there. I'll get a wee look and see if we can shout it a bit louder maybe. And relax. Okay, just roll the shoulders up and round now. Nice and loose. So going through all these exercises, we're trying not to tense up in the shoulders either. So a lot of us tend to tense up, or the shoulders rounded forward. I want to keep them down and back. Nice big space there between your shoulders and ears. Again, I can see a lot of people logging on there, big space between the two ears, but we're looking at space between your shoulders and ears. You know who you are, okay? Now we're going to step a wee bit wider, sit down into a few squats now, keep the heels on the floor as well, just down and up. Just watching here that the knees aren't buckling in or anything, so keep them out in line with your toes. Okay, a wee bit more dynamic now. That same movement, pushing the hips out, bring the arms back. When you're ready, you're going to propel yourself forward in a jump. So it's very similar to what we'll do in a kettlebell swing. Push the hips out, jump forward. Push the hips out, spring forward. Nice cushion land. Okay, just keep going with a few of those, but bring it from the hips back, powering forward from the hamstrings and back side. Try not to squat down into that. We're not doing a squat jump. We're hitting the hamstrings and back side. Big hip hinge, push out, squeeze forward. Nice explosive movement there. Great. Hopefully we're feeling the hamstrings warming up a wee bit more than the quads. Alright, does it sound okay there yet? Okay, good. Sure you all enjoyed that close up there. Right, so we'll lie on our back now. Feet down underneath your knees. Roll the hips back up towards you, squeezing at the back side. and lower them back down again. You do that on the hamstrings and back side again. So roll up, back down. Just one more time, roll up, back down. Now, bring one leg in, one knee in towards the chest, hold on to it, and then push up then with your other leg. Lift the back side off the floor, back down, push down into your heel and toe, squeeze up with the glutes. Let's keep that going. Perfect. Okay, just change sides. Bring your other knee in, squeeze up with the back side. Okay, hold there, soles your feet on the floor. Bring your arms back onto the ground there and just come round away from those weights. Bring your arms back onto the floor, palms facing the roof. Try and keep the tummy muscles pulled in a wee bit. And as you breathe out, just slide the arms along the floor behind you as if you're reaching overhead. Breathe in to bring them down again. So breathe out and reach. Nice wee bit of shoulder and upper back mobility. Breathe out to bring them down again. So keep that going. What you're really doing is reaching overhead and bring it back down. Try not to tense up the shoulders and neck. Just keep it going and breathe with it. Perfect. Okay. Now we're onto the kettlebell. Start with a light weight. If you happen to have a couple of weights, start with a lighter one. So again, it's going to be like a broken record because you don't want anything to hurt the back. You're trying to push back. It's that hip hinge, that's where the movement's going to come from. So it's pushing out with the hips, squeeze at the back side and hamstrings to come forward again. Avoid going too far forward. So there's the common mistakes with the kettlebell swing, is that we squat instead of hip hinging. So we're looking for that hip hinge, pushing the bum out. And then as we push that weight forward, careful not to overreach. So we don't want to strain the lower back at the top part of the motion or down here where we might roll over at the back. So quickly getting into this, the weight comes right back through the top of the thighs. So if you imagine your legs are like a letter A, there's the wee bar across the A, the weight's going in over the top of that bar, not down at your shins. Okay, as soon as you go down there, you're risking your back. You could hurt your lower back. So it's a wee punchy movement, hips go back, pop the weight forward, pop the weight forward. So it's coming right back between the thighs. Wait till the weight's nearly at the bottom, about to bang into your legs, and then you hinge the hips back. That's your kettlebell swing. Just keep that going. You should feel it in the back of the thighs. Keep that going. And it's very similar to that warm-up movement that we did. Hips back, jumping forward. So it's the exact same movement. Only we're adding weight to squeeze the glutes. Squeeze. Squeeze. Standing tall and strong at the top. So you're not relaxing there. You're tightening up the tummy. Tightening up the backside. And relax. Okay? Okay, so just a couple of wee things. Again, just to recap. Whenever you start getting tired, you may slip into bad habits. Avoid a squat. So we're not squatting down the swing. That's probably the most common way that it can be done wrong. More of a hip hinge. Stick the backside out and pop it up from there. And you're using that momentum then. When the weight comes down, allow it to bring the hips back. Okay? And then as well, the weight stays quite high right at the thighs. Your shoulders are down away from your ears and arms are quite relaxed. You don't just lift that with your arms. Don't just lift it using your arms. That's the momentum from the glutes. There's your power. Drive that weight up. When we get to the top there, when the weight's up there, you're bracing with the tummy to stop the weight going any higher. So if you go lazy here, if you go relaxed, that weight will drift on up. We want to tighten up the tummy, strong with the arms, so the weight's nearly bouncing back down. Okay? Next thing we'll work on here is the rack position. That's taking the weight up here onto your shoulder. If you do this wrong, say if you're just tuning in, I'm going to say this again. If you're just tuning in, the first 10 or 15 minutes is all about learning movements, right? Okay? We're going to build the workout after this. So just bear with me. If you're doing this swing, to take it up into that rack position, you take the weight with one arm, and then start to bring it gradually turn of the wrist. So your thumb points down, thumb points up, down and up, down and up. And the next time you go to bring the weight up, the wrist turning anyway, the thumb starting to turn up, but keep it turning till it rolls up here onto the shoulder. Strong core at the top, elbows underneath the weight. I'll just show that there again close up. The weight's here, starts to turn and rolls up around the back of your wrist. The most common way of doing this wrong is very painful. That's a wee flick, the weight goes away up and then drops back hard on the arms and you'll be covered in bruises here tomorrow. So just practice a few of those. Take it into a wee swing first. Hips back, hips back. If you're comfortable with that, let go, hold on to one hand, just thumb points down, thumb points up. When you're ready, on your next swing up, don't force it, it's a nice wee flow, it just rolls up the arm. So from the hips, you're driving that weight forward, and then a wee flick of the wrist to take it up onto the shoulder. Okay? From there, we'll take it back through the thighs, and back up. That's your swing clean. Wee flick of the wrist. I'll show you a bad one again, just a painful one, is where the bottom of the weight goes away up in there, lands on top of you. You don't want to land it, you want to cushion it. Cushion it, okay. Back into the swing with two arms again. Change, hold the weight with your other hand. I'm deliberately not saying left or right because I think the camera flips around here for me. Thumb points down, thumb points up, thumb points down, thumb points up. Same movement here, exact same movement for that swing. And then the weight rolls up onto the wrist. Good. Let's keep that going. So it's a swing, hips back, hips forward. And then thumb down, thumb up. And we roll up onto the shoulder. Nice tight tummy, roll up onto the shoulder. And relax. Okay. Get yourself a quick drink. If you haven't put music on for yourself in the background yet, fire it on there now. We're going to start to get into a wee bit of a workout. The first wee block will be only about 5 minutes long. Concentrating on building that swing pattern and flowing it on one exercise to the next. Alright, so you can probably hear me breathing from there. That's why I didn't wear my wee lapel microphone. Wouldn't sound too pleasant. So quick drink there if you like. Get a bit of music on. I'll explain what we're doing. If you happen to have a heavier kettlebell and you know the exercises and you're comfortable with kettlebell workouts, you can grab a heavier weight now, okay? If you're using a dumbbell, I'll just quickly show you, you can do all those exercises again. So you're letting the weight hang there to get for a swing. It's slightly different when you come into that clean. Slightly different, you'll have to rotate it up onto the back of the wrist. You'll be holding it up here with the knuckles towards the roof, elbow underneath. Okay, so if you're relying on a dumbbell there. The next couple of minutes, we're going to go from swings to squats. Concentrating mostly on the legs, alright? We'll do a wee bit of that clean as well. If you happen to have a heavier kettlebell, you know what you're doing, you're comfortable with exercises, go heavier. If you're still new to it, stick with the lighter weight and take plenty of breaks. Okay, so if you're in a heavier kettlebell and find it hard to get the motion going, nice wee tip there is to push the weight forward with one leg and then it comes up and starts bringing you back. Okay, so you push it forward with one leg. Take it into that swing. Alright, we're going to do around 15 here. We're not putting numbers or time on it. These will all just work with how I feel, which shouldn't take too long for me to get tired doing this. Hips back, tight tummy at the top. And keeping the core engaged at the bottom as well. You don't want any lower back strain, any phase of this motion here. Keep the shoulders down and away from your ears. Tummy pulled in tight. Okay, when we're ready, we're going to take the weight up by the handles. So you can take that up in a wee flick of the wrist. Hold it here by the ears. We're going to sit down into a squat. Keep your elbows in underneath the weight. Sit down in that wee squat. Lovely. Elbows coming inside your thighs if you can. And again, try not to round your back over there and that. Sit the bum low. So now we are squatting. You should feel that more in front of your thighs. I didn't count these, but that must be nearly 50. Okay, we're going to take it back from here into the swing, so we're looking for that flow. Another wee flick of the wrist. And let the weight come back down. Alright? So tight through the tummy, push the hips back. You really feel the backside and hamstrings working here. Okay, keep that going. Gonna hold on to the weight with one hand. And remember, 3 flick of the wrist. Thumb down and thumb up. Thumb down, thumb up. Once we're ready, take it up into that rack position. Elbow under the weight. We'll sit low and squat there. So take your other arm out to the side. Same position, you're not shifting over to one side. Straight down in that squat. If you can, now we're allowing the weight to come back down through the thighs. Take it into the 2 hands again. So if I drop a kettlebell on these thighs here, my marriage will be over. High risk here. Once ready, take the weight with your other hand, so single arm swing again. Same motion through the hips. Slide the hips back. Pop forward again. Pop forward as if you're jumping. Jump. Jump. Thumb down, thumb up, thumb down, thumb up, and then rack it up again. Up to the other shoulder. So it's racking it up, roll it up onto the wrist. Arm out to the side, sit low and squat again. Race through the tummy, that weight load on one side. We don't want to be weak at the core. Engage the tummy muscles. Good. From here now, the weight comes forward again, through the thighs, and we're back into that swing again. Take it with your first arm again, we're going to just take it in the clean, so thumb down, thumb up, rack it up in the clean, okay? Rack it up in the clean, so it's not going way out in front each time, it's coming down and back up. Quite close to the body. So the momentum comes from the hips again. Same as we do with the swings. The momentum comes from that wee snap at the hips. And the arm just finishes the movement, nice and cushioned here. Back into the swing again. Change hands when you're ready. Change sides please. Change hands when you're ready. Thumb down. Thumb up, thumb down, thumb up, and we're back up to the rack again on that arm. So roll it around the wrist. Try not to thump the arms. It's nice and cushioned. And relax, alright, so we'll set our weight down for a second. Feet quite close together, chin towards the chest. Don't push your bum out like a swing this time. Keep the hips here and just roll forward. When high here, allow that to open up through your spine. Slowly bringing the breath back down. Relax at the neck and shoulders. Pull the tummy muscles up and in. We'll go down into that again, just getting a wee bit of pressure off your back here, and then we're down to the mat for a few minutes. Roll down again. Let go with the neck and shoulders. Don't push your bum away out. We're keeping it pretty much where it is with a wee softness in your knees. Roll up to the top again. And relax. Okay, coming down to the mat. Starting off in the ordinary plank position. It's good to get a feel for the plank, because whenever we're up here in the swing, it's basically a plank that we're in. Alright, I said it at the start, quite common to let go, relax, we've got the weight lifted, but the core is not firing, and then you nip at the lower back. Okay, so we'll come down to the ordinary plank. Keep the weight close by to yourself, one of the lighter weights maybe for, you can go lighter or heavier with this. So if you have a couple of weights, try your heavier one, you can always go back to the lighter one if you need to. But we'll start with the weight on the plank. You don't know the plank, hopefully, elbows under the shoulders, curl the toes in towards you, pull the belly button up and in towards your spine. Same kind of movement there, same kind of position as the swings, shoulders are back away from your ears. Keep the chin tucked in gently towards the chest, so nice length through the back of your neck. Belly button pulled up and in. We don't want the lower back dipping down here, your hips rolling forward, that'll strain at the lower back. Just another few seconds. And relax. Okay, we're into the Russian twist. Again, another exercise that most people will know. Lighter weight or heavier weight, it's up to you. If you're feeling the Russian twist or you're feeling the back getting a wee bit tight there during those exercises, try the Russian twist with your heels pushed down into the floor. Okay, so you don't have to lift your feet for this. You can if you want, or if you're comfortable. Push your heels down rather than leaning back with a stiff straight back. Try and roll back in your backside. So roll the backside back. Feel a wee curve here and keep that position now in the Russian twist. Bringing the weight side to side. Not really talking there, I think everybody knows that one anyway. So the weight's coming side to side. See Joe Wick's got an MBE. Give me 2 years to see how we go. Make the freedom for more. Something like that. Perfect. Alright, we'll keep that weight. Lying on your back this time. Lying on your back, holding the weight there at the handles, so you're holding it by the ears really. Pull the belly button in tight. Lift one leg up, make sure your lower back doesn't arch up, and lift the other leg up. Keep the legs like that. If you can, straighten them up. Bring your chin towards the chest. Roll up as if you're bringing the weight up towards your toes. Roll up off the mat. If you're too keen to get up, you start cheating and bringing the weight from here, firing yourself up. We want a nice wee squeeze so the weight's towards the roof. Chin towards the chest and roll your upper back up off the floor. Take the momentum out of it. And relax. Okay, last week one was humming, now we'll get back to that kettlebell flow type work. Everybody doing okay? If there's any questions or anything as we go along, just type it in, I'll come over and take a wee look. But if there's anything you're struggling with, just let me know. I mean in terms of the kettlebells, not personally, that's beyond me. But going to set the weight at the end of your mat or a wee bit further off the front of your mat, kind of at full arm's length. Okay, so if you set yourself up ready to do a plank, you want that weight well out in front. So we'll set ourselves up in the plank, conscious of what your hips are doing. Don't let them twist and turn. So they're not turning up to the sides, they're staying dead square with the mat. So pull in the tummy, reach one arm out, sorry. As you reach that arm, that's where the hip wants to lift. Don't let it. And change sides. Change sides. So we're really reaching there without letting your midriff sway side to side or twist up and down. Just keep that going. No comments there, anybody, anything to say, just write it in so I can get a wee break here. Pull in the tummy, keep tapping the opposite arm, alternating arms. Last few seconds, start to get tired, just watch that the hips starting to give way now. Pull in tight at the belly button. And relax, okay? Up onto your mat. Sit your backside back onto your heels and inch the fingertips way out in front. And breathe there deep into that stretch in your lower back, just hold that. Good, going well here. Alright, so back to your feet. If you have two weights, have them both ready. We'll start with the heavy weight again, replicating a wee bit of what we've done there already. Starting from the swing and allow it to flow into exercise after exercise. So if we're changing hands, it always comes back to that swing. Keep the flow going, keep the smoothness of it going. If you need a break, take a break, okay? So, we're in the home straight. Anytime you need a break over the next 15 minutes, help yourself. Arms honestly. If somebody wants to ring and interrupt there, it would be great. In about 5 minutes time. Alright, so we're starting here. Swings again, just to cover it again, just very briefly. Want the hips come back and then bring them up in line with the feet and shoulders. Don't allow them to drift any further. That's really exaggerating it there, but going that way at all will nip at the lower back. So when we come up here, standing tall, it's pulled into the tummy, squeezing the glutes to the point where you can't go any further because everything's braced, everything's tight. Okay, here we go. We can't put it off any longer. So we're going swings here first. Nice steady flow, remember. One exercise after the next. And that weight's coming nice and high through the thighs, not down below your knees, not near your shins. Take a wee brace position on top, tighten the glutes, tighten the tummy. Once you're ready, take the weight in one hand. Still swing it. And we'll take it up to the rack position again, up to the clean. So thumb down, thumb up, and roll it up onto the wrist. Good. From here, just another couple of squats. We're only doing a couple of this one. We'll do one more. We'll keep the weight in that arm down by your side. Step your opposite leg forward and spread the weight between both feet. From here, okay, give you a second to get balanced up. From here, push your bum out and your back stays nice and long. We don't want to round over. Push the bum out, belly button still pulled in, and pull your elbow up past your side so you can lean on that front leg. Nice and steady. Get the bum pushed out. Keep the weight by your side now. Let go of that leg that we're leaning on. Squeeze in at the back side and push the bum out again. Squeeze in, push out. What we should feel is this front leg, the standing leg, taking a lot of work through the hamstring, back side. Push away from this side. Pushing out, squeezing in, push out, squeeze in. If you're comfortable with that, you can lift the back leg off the floor, take it into that full deadlift position. My balance is atrocious. Just did a 5 or 6 pints there before this. Can't balance. And relax. That takes us back to the swing. So get the weight moving again on the swing. One arm, other arm this time. Thumb down, thumb up. Thumb down, thumb up. Thumb down, thumb up. We'll take it up to the rack, the clean, up to the shoulder. Just nice and snappy there up to the shoulder. And a few squats again. Sit low into the squat, low and controlled. Good. Keep the weight in that arm. Step your opposite leg forward. So the weight's in your, this is my left arm, I think it flips it around and it might look like my right. But if it's in your left arm, step the right leg forward and vice versa. From there, push the bum out, nice length through your back. And we're into the row again. Pull that elbow up past your rib cage. All about control there. Nice length through your back, not round it over. And from there, squeeze, let the weight hang, squeeze the back side, come up tall again. Keep most of your weight up through this front leg. Keep most of the weight up through your front leg, very little weight in the back leg. Push your hips back, squeeze in again. Push out, squeeze in. Good. Brace at the tummy. Hold it. Good. Alright, so we're taking the weight onto your mat. We're doing a press up here, so whatever way suits you. I'm going to put the weight on the mat and lie it down. Okay, so just lay down on the ground. Do these on your knees if you like, or full press up if you can. But one hand on the weight, other hand out to the side, you do a press up. Step the hands across, you have a hand either side of the weight. press up, and then come right across, so your other arm's in the weight, and vice versa, down and up. Okay, working through those 3 points here in the middle, over to one side, middle, and over the other side. Okay, careful with the weight. You want it lying down flat, you don't want it giving way, so nice and controlled there through that arm. Full press up if you can, another few seconds here. $99, 100. Well done. Don't know how many you got there. That was 100 for me. Alright. Lying on your back. Just want to be off. Don't want to go off camera here. Lying on your back now. Again, if you have a lighter weight, it might be handy for this one. Or no weight at all. We're doing a tall sit up. Keep the legs out straight. Your toes curled back towards you. Way off the camera there. Toes curled back. And roll up off the mat. Don't fire yourself up. Even with the weight, don't use that momentum. We're rolling up off the floor. Squeeze up to that seated position. Point the toes and roll back down. If you find that too difficult, roll up as far as you feel you can without forcing it. And back down. Okay? So it's better going here with good movement than swinging yourself to the top with a shitty movement. One of them's going to hurt your back or your neck. The other one's going to work the abs, okay? So with or without the weight, hands towards the roof, curl the toes back up towards you, roll up off the floor, roll back down. Nice smooth flow to that. Curl the toes back towards you to come up, point the toes away and roll the spine back down. Loads of control here. Good, lying down, the next time we come down we're going to stay there, keeping the weight lifted directly above the chest and keep the weight still, don't let it sway. Pull into the tummy, make sure your lower back's not arching up and down through this movement. You want to keep the tummy muscles engaged. Bring one knee up and then your other. Okay, so with the knees bent, I'm going to bring the legs towards one side of the weight, back out slightly, and legs up towards the other side of the weight. I'll show you that from behind. So the legs come up to one side, the weight stays still, down in the middle, and up to the other side. The legs go down in the middle. It's up to you. Anybody with back problems, don't let the legs go any lower than this. Okay, so don't let the legs come down when you feel your back starting to shoot up off the ground. Pull in at the tummy, support your lower back here. If you find it quite easy, straighten the legs up a wee bit. Lift them up to the left hand, lift them up to the right hand. As you lower the legs closer to the floor, that's where you're working hardest. Pull the belly button down and tight. And relax, okay? Come round to the kneeling position. Just want to do a quick time check here. Everybody getting on okay? Catch up in the morning, sure. So you say, we'll see. So we're in a kneeling position, nice tight tummy here. Same as all the standing exercises, don't let your hips roll forward with your lower back arches. So it's a running theme. Pretty much every exercise, every class you do, you're looking for that engagement at the core. Okay, so with the weight, up at the chest height, we're on our knees here. Bring one knee up in front, try not to swing the body out too much here. Bring one knee up in front, stand up, press overhead. Back down, and back down. Other knee up. Stand up hard, push up through that front foot. Press up, back down. Alternating legs each time, so if you see the amount of wobbling out in there, engage the core, don't wobble too much. Press up, okay? If you know the flow now, if you know what you're doing, carry on with it. Don't have to wait for me. go silent when I stop. Good, alright. From here, we dip at the legs if we need to, change the weight if we need to, get it up overhead. Engage the core, don't go into that drift. Engage the core, bend your elbows, straighten up the arms. Bend your elbows, straighten up the arms. And just keep that going. Remember, if you need a break or a drink, help yourself at any stage. Just keep that going, extend the arms right up overhead. And relax. Okay, we'll bring the weight back down. Hang here again, and get a wee bit of flow going back into the swing. Nice and relaxed. So the swing might have felt tough at the start. Once you get the flow for it, it starts to feel a wee bit easier. Now we're going to alternate. We'll practice that we swing and catch. So it's a wee flick of the wrist. Let's see that closer. So it's a wee flick of the wrist. And we're going to squat back into the hand, back up, squat, swing at the bottom, squat then and use the weight up. Just keep going between those two. If you find that too hard to adjust, do about 5 swings and take the weight up for about 5 squats. We're looking for a wee bit of flow there if we can, keeping the heart rate nice and high. Keep swinging now with the kettlebell. Keep swinging. Take the weight in one hand, thumb down, thumb up. We're going to rack it up, dip the knees and drive that weight overhead. So it's dip and drive, dip and drive. Strong at the core, don't lean over. Dip and drive. It's not a full squat. It's just that wee drive, getting momentum into the weight. Brace tight here. Good, back into the swing. Change hands, thumb down, thumb up. Make a rotation. Roll it up onto the shoulder. Good, hold there, brace tight. Dip and drive. Dip and drive. Now if you find that challenging, do 5 in one hand, then swing, change hands, 5 in another. If you're comfortable, if you're getting good with the flow, take it down into the swing, change hands, up to the shoulder, dip and drive. Down into the swing, change hands, dip and drive. Alternating sides now, so get a wee bit of flow going. Swing, change hands, rack it up, dip and drive. If you know the flow, don't wait on me, change hands, dip and drive. Let's keep that going. Alright, so especially if you're starting to pick the speed up, really focus on those key points, brace the core, shoulders down and back. Don't let the hips drift forward like this. That'll catch you in the back all the way. Maybe not now, but you'll feel it tomorrow. Last couple here. And relax. Great stuff. I'm going to go to my lighter weight for the last exercise here, lying on your back. Time's going in. Everybody feeling okay or anybody struggling? What's doing this? Alright. Okay, so we're lying on our back. Excuse me. A wee bit more technical this one to finish. Go without a weight if you like at the start. I think the camera flips, but I'm going to take a punt and say it looks like my left, so I'll go with your left here. Take the weight up in your left hand, and your left foot is up on the floor. Foot or foot, depending on how posh you are. Okay, so left hand up, left knee up or left foot up. Right hand out on the floor. Out a wee bit to the side. I'm going to come up onto this forearm in a wee second. Chin towards the chest. See that left foot that's planted on the ground? Don't let it move. Concentrate on that. Keep it dead still. Roll your shoulders up off the floor with your eyes up at the weight. So you might be looking at me in the first one, that's fine. Take a look and then you can copy on the next. Left foot still planted hard. Right hand just giving you a bit of support underneath. Squeeze at the back side to lift up. sit back down, and roll back down. So the weight stays here, eyes on the weight. As soon as you take your eyes off, you start seeing where your hand is, this will go all over the place. You don't need to look and see where that hand is, it's always, or nearly always at the end of your arm. The same with that foot, you don't need to look to see where it is. It should be at the end of your leg. Okay? So roll up off the mat, left arm, eyes up on the weight. Lift the back side up, push down into that left foot, squeeze at the glutes. Lower yourself back down. Roll up, squeeze up, sit down, roll down. Let's keep that going, that's the Turkish get up. If you're comfortable now with the movement, add a wee bit of weight, just a couple more. Squeeze at the glutes. That's the half Turkish get up, I think I said Turkish get up, it's only the half. Roll up, squeeze up. Perfect, come back down, carefully changing the weight into your other hand, carefully. So it might seem harmless here lying on the mat, very easy to pop the shoulder out if we're a bit careless. Take the weight up with your right hand this time, change legs so your right foot is on the mat, your left leg out straight, and your right hand, your left hand, your other hand out on the floor beside you. You're going to use it to help yourself up in a second. Eyes up on the weight, not looking around you where you lose that shoulder. Eyes up on the weight. Shoulder nice and strong here in your back. Roll up off the mat. Up onto your hand here. Squeeze at the glutes. Push down into that right foot. Squeeze the back side. Sit down. Roll down. Roll up. Roll up. Roll up. Sit down. Roll down. Good. Roll up. Set. Pushing through that leg. Pushing through the hand, squeezing at the back side most, clench the cheeks, roll back down, squeeze at the back side. Imagine there's a 20-pound up there, you don't want to let it go. Roll up, back down. Now one more, one for up, strong through the shoulder, eyes up the weight. As soon as you lose that, it'll go all over the place. Roll up. Squeeze, roll down, sit down. That's us. Careful with that weight, have a wee bit reckless of me there at the end. Careful with the weight setting it down. Lie back, soles of your feet on the floor. Find that neutral pelvis, alright, so core muscles engaged a wee bit. Lift one leg up, hands in behind your thigh, and pull back into that hamstring stretch. If you're comfortable there, just hold on to it. Keep the tummy muscles engaged a wee bit. Allow your other leg to go out straight. Okay, we're going to take that toe, point it up towards the ceiling and curl it down hard. Feel that shoot up through the calves. Point the toe and curl it down. Point and curl. That's good. Bend that knee. Bring both knees in towards the chest. Hug them in gently. And just roll the hips around a wee touch. Change direction. Nice bit of movement through the lower back. Hold on to your other leg this time. Straighten it up towards the roof. And draw it back into that hamstring stretch. Okay. Pull down on the belly button. Straighten out your other leg. Curl the toe down hard towards you for 3, 2, 1. Point the toe up. Curl it down. Point it up. Good. Good. Bend that knee. I'm going to put that foot up onto your other knee. So up here. So just resting like sitting with your one leg crossed onto the other. The foot that's on the ground, or foot that's on the ground, lift it back towards you. Okay, you can use your hands to help with that if you like. Feel a nice stretch on the glute, cheek, whatever term you want to put on it. And relax, we'll just change sides. And relax. Okay, turn from here, right onto your hands and knees. Finishing up now, just sit back on your heels with the toes pointing away. Inch the fingertips long out in front. And relax. Good. stuff. Good to go through that in one piece anyway. Alright, so hopefully everyone enjoyed that. Hopefully plenty of people catch up on it. Any questions or comments about kettlebells, just let me know. Just glad to get through it myself. Just keep an eye on the Facebook page there. I do a Pilates class twice a week. There's a new 6-week block of it starting next Thursday. It'll run over Christmas as well. It'll not be on a Thursday and Saturday that week. It'll be a bit earlier, but it'll run for 6 weeks again. Getting great feedback on it. So if you've any questions about what Pilates is, I'm getting great feedback from people that weren't sure about it, that tried it before and stuff. So that's very rewarding for me personally. But it's worth a try. If you want to give it a go, give me a wee shout. I'm also doing programs when the gyms are shut there. If you have equipment lying about at home and you want a workout done out to suit your needs, whatever you're training for, and whatever equipment you have at home, give me a wee private message there as well, and we'll work from there. I can do you up a program for 6 weeks. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that. Enjoyed it myself, that's the main thing. Shout away if you need anything else. Alright, thank you. You could have voted for the Swiss ball class, far better class in my opinion, but the kettlebells was good enough there too. Okay, thank you.